Are we ready then? Are we off? Are we in?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are we in?
Let's go. I feel like we should have been wearing party hats.
I've got a bottle of liquor down here. We could have a little cheeky one, a little celebration.
I don't have any alcohol in here.
Little celebration. I wish I had my decks on now so I could lick up. Look how close my decks are now. Look at this. Jeez. I feel like I'm on Breakfast Club or some shit. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a special one. It's a special one, Stxylo.
It's a special one, Stxylo.
Yeah, it's a special one.
Guys, I don't function well at this time, man. Dubl is kicking my ass this week. It's like, yeah, we'll record on Monday morning at 9. It's like, bro, I go to bed at like 5, bro. Look at me. I look half asleep. Look at the state of my eyes.
No, we're good. You're good. You're good.
Well, yeah, today is a special one. Today's a big one, you know.
The Centurion.
The Centurion. Bro, do you know what, yeah? We've actually been doing this. I was going to say it's been 2 years, but it definitely hasn't. Like, because we've been so inconsistently consistent.
It's amazing.
We've done 100 episodes over like 2.5 years. I think it's 2.5 years.
No, I think April is the 3rd anniversary.
Is it?
So it's cool because it means we can celebrate our 100th episode today, and then in like 3 weeks' time we get to do the 3rd birthday.
That's actually awful from us, you know.
We have 56 episodes, but we've had 56 weeks where we haven't done anything.
I blame Dubl.
No, you know what? In the beginning, it's because I had to drive up to Manchester to record before Zoom was the thing, before the pandemic. But we've been very consistent through the pandemic, so it's all right.
When I watched some of them early ones back, bro, I was thinking, oh, this is going to be cringe, but I was surprised how, without blowing our own trumpet,
it's been sick from the start, bro.
They were pretty good episodes, man. Like,
yeah.
Obviously, the dynamic is completely different because there's what we've been doing it on fucking Zoom since forever now. But I was surprised. Like, I don't know, man. I was thinking when I watch some of these back now, I'm gonna cringe. This is gonna be hard.
No,
but they were actually sick. Like yeah, man, that was good time. That feels like longer than 3 years ago.
It does feel like a very long time.
And we look bare younger.
This is before global pandemics and daily homeschooling took its toll on our lives. Well, my life.
For some reason, bro, as well. My voice is way deeper, bro. Why was my voice so deep on them early episodes? I've definitely got a squeaky, high-pitched voice. Oh my! When I'll be talking to the missus, like, why are you talking so high? Why are you talking like this? Blood. Anyway, so here we are, mate. 100 episodes deep.
Yes.
We can clap for ourselves because we got no one here to do it for us.
There's no guest today, so it's just us two clapping and applauding for ourselves.
3 years of talking about DJ shit, and we've covered all sorts of stuff.
All right, do you know what's sick though? Is when I remember speaking to some people, like various different people that are involved in like YouTube or doing their own podcasts and different stuff. And I remember when I said to them about we would be doing a DJ-based podcast, I specifically remember one guy going, after about 8 weeks, you're going to run out of things to say. I was like, no, definitely not. Bro, we made it.
Not with us two.
No, exactly. But we made it to episode 100.
So you're that guy, whoever you are, yeah, you were wrong.
Yeah.
And you weren't just wrong, mate. You were 92 episodes off.
Exactly.
About 8 episodes.
Yeah, dead guy. And funnily enough, he's not actually doing his YouTube channel anymore.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Who ran out of what? Anyway, no. Right, dash out the bad energy. Let's celebrate 100. We should have got party hats and balloons and stuff.
Yeah, we messed up. I might decorate this. I'll put a little overlay on or something in it. I'll dress us up, make us look nice. In fact, should we change the background? Let's set the mood. How do we do it?
Everyone listening on Spotify is like, it doesn't matter. We can't see.
Yeah, sorry, Spotify. You just have to hold tight for a second. I don't know what I'm doing. Where do we go, Dubs? Come on, you know how to do this.
I've forgotten, I haven't used it for so long.
Or do you need a green screen?
Go down bottom left where it says stop video and then click choose virtual background.
Oh, snap. Yo, there's a beach.
and it's right there.
Yo. All right. Now we're in. Now we set the vibes. Now we're setting the vibes. I'm on the beach because we've done so well. I'm taking a holiday because. Is it working on your side?
Yeah.
Am I on the beach?
I'm just getting a special one. Yeah, you are.
Nah, this is lit, right? Guys, it's a bit more of a relaxed episode today, just so you know. We're not taking it too serious. I feel like pouring a drink and lighting a zuggy, mate. No joke. Jokes. Just joking. Yes.
There we go.
Dubl's gone to a kids' party. Wow. I've gone on holiday.
I've got the bouncy castle. I've got the balloons.
All right, sick. This is a bit better still. The vibe's looking good now. The vibes are looking nice. Vibes are looking nice. Yeah. So talk to me, G. Talk to me.
Well, first of all,
before I get off on my holidays.
As the extended introduction, we've decided against having a guest on the show today because we wanted to, like Stxylo said, have a bit more of a relaxed one and kind of celebrate the century that was reached. Because, bruv, do you know what? Like, it's mad. Do you know how many podcasts pop up and disappear after like episode 5 or 6?
I thought that was going to be us. after Dubl done the drive like twice, I was like, this ain't gonna last long. This
drive into Manchester to record a podcast every week.
I feel like that's the thing with podcasts, man. Like it sounds like a great thing to do at the time, but then when you actually start doing it, you realize like what goes into doing something like this, and it's not. Obviously, we've definitely not been as consistent as we could have been, but our audience is DJs and like music related people. And I feel like we're all a little bit scatty with our time schedules. Obviously, some are more punctual than others, but I feel like the way we've done it, it's not really gone against us too much. We could obviously be more consistent. That's our fault still. But DJ life, innit, man? It's hard, bro.
Yeah.
Like with our schedules, like you've obviously got the little one and like at the minute doing like the homeschooling and everything else. And then I'm always up late night in the studio. The schedules are a bit of a myth. Before we're DJing all the time and then trying to squeeze it in. And I think we've done well, man, to get here. I think it's a pretty good achievement, man. 100 episodes, bruv.
Yeah. And you know what? The amazing thing is the amount of feedback that I get from DJs that listen. Like my DMs, the most DMs that I get are from DJs that listen to the podcast. That's above any of my other content, above DMs about mixes or the interviews or anything. Most of my DMs come from DJs that listen, and they're like, yo, this was a sick topic. And they point me, even like last week, someone pointed me back to like episode 34 or something.
Wow.
In the 30s. And they were like, yo, this was a sick one. I'm just catching up with the backlog now. Like, it's cold, man. Like, knowing that there's a lot of DJs from our generation that can relate to the conversations that we're having. But also younger DJs that are just getting into it are learning from the podcast as well. So they're taking gems and they're getting schooled by some of the stuff. Some of the guests that we've had are saying things for them as well. Like, so... It's amazing, man.
I've got someone knocking on my door, mate. If the door's closed, bro.
Tell him to do one. Tell him to social distance.
If the door's closed, mate, that means don't come in. Get me? Nah, you're right, though, man. Probably the same on my side. It's literally, obviously, we're a DJ. We're aiming at DJs anyway, but we do have people from other like avenues hitting us up, whether it's like producers or like club owners, managers. Like there is a mixture of people that listen, but the core base is obviously the DJ community in it. So same way, man. But even when we've done some of the earlier topics, like when you're recording them, it does feel most times it just feels like we're waffling, bro. But obviously, like DJs don't really have. There's a couple of DJ podcasts out there, but there's never really been that full output where you hear people covering all the kind of issues that we come across in the DJ world, innit? Like I think it's safe to say we were one of the first in the UK to do it. I think I
didn't know. When I looked into it as we were starting, I didn't find a single other DJ only podcast.
Not in the UK anyway, I don't think. So
no, I didn't, like, full stop. I didn't find one. I'm not saying we're the first in the world, but I'm just saying I didn't find any others when I was typing podcast for DJs. Because
I remember when we had the initial conversations and like we were just literally we've had this conversation before. We would just talk about DJ shit every time we're on the phone anyway. So it's like, why don't we just, there's nothing really out there that's giving DJs a voice. So I mean, we didn't have guests in at first, but as we've obviously grown and progressed, and it's allowed us to like bring people in and open this thing up completely, man. And we've heard some. It's mad, bro. Because when I was sat down the other night and I was looking through the list and the people who we've had on, and like just being able to conversate with DJs that I've like looked up to before I've even become a professional DJ, like high school and that, and then like 10 whatever years later, 15 years later, we're sitting down chopping up like DJ gripes with the goats of the game, bro. Like I'm just still a fanboy sometimes when I chat to these kids, innit? So yeah, to see where we've grown from doing 250-mile round trips up and down the motorway to getting top level like pioneer DJ our peers of the industry to come on and chop it up with us is sick, bruv.
Yeah,
sick.
And you know what the maddest thing is, bruv? This the whole pandemic actually forced us to step up the game with it as well, because obviously it forced us onto Zoom. We were doing it with just the cameras, me in my studio, you in yours, and then that was long because of sending all the files and all this stuff. And then when the pandemic hit and Zoom became a thing, it was like, oh, well, why haven't we done this the whole time? So jumping on here then allowed us to connect with people on the day we wanted to connect. No need for them to travel, so it just made it easier. Like, it's crazy.
It's mad when you put it like that, because the pandemic, obviously one of the worst things that happened in our entire lifetime, but it actually pushed us to make the podcast greater.
Bruv, you know what? I found this last year. All right, so we we haven't even spoken about this on the podcast yet, because since the last episode, it's been announced that the partnership with Vlad TV. So I'm going somewhere with this as well.
I need another back. No, I'm gonna have to get my background back on.
Another celebration background. So
we're gonna go to America because it's Vlad.
So if anyone listening, basically, 2 weeks ago,
DJ Dubl's basically a goat now.
2 weeks ago, no, far from it. 2 weeks ago,
look at the smile on his face.
I announced that I'm now the official UK anchor and host for Vlad TV, which for anyone that doesn't know is a huge interview platform in America. It's like one of the most influential interview platforms in hip hop, I would say. That's
a fair shout.
I'm now the UK host for Vlad TV. I'm going somewhere with this, by the way. I'm not just. I'm not just swinging my dick in the room. But no, basically, it came about because of all the losses and all the L's that I took last year. I put myself in a position to basically make this partnership happen, and that wouldn't have happened if I was still going to the clubs and still just doing my own face-to-face interviews for my own channel. So it was because of the pandemic. This is actually a sick point, you know. This is actually a sick point because before the pandemic, we're working, we're getting it in, DJing's going well. Yeah. You're making good money, like it's all great, but you're not pushing yourself as much because you're comfortable. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So like, I fully agree, man. The pandemic definitely give me a kick up the arse because it's still when you just in that routine, that deadly DJ routine where you just DJ Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Like most times in the afternoon, you're just monged because you're knackered. Yeah. Like you're squeezing in little side hustles here and there, but you're not. Like you say, you might not have even chased that Vlad thing like properly. No, not at all. You get me? So not at all. Not at all. And what it forced me to do, all the L's that I stacked up from last year, forced me. Guy's got a pallet of L's. I've got, honestly, like in the studio, I've got a big box full of L's that I collected last year. In the ceiling. Yeah. They fell through the ceiling. You know? Yeah, there was so many that the ceiling collapsed. That many L's, it collapsed the ceiling in the studio. Oh, my days. Yeah, all of them combined, basically, it put me into like survival mode, bro, where I forced myself to create opportunities to put myself into a better position. And that's what has happened. Yeah, you've done it, man. Yeah, it's crazy. But again, like relating that back to what we were saying. Let's talk about this for a second, because to be fair, it's about bloody time, mate.
It's about
What
bloody.
is? What, that I pulled my finger out my ass and did some work.
No. That you got like obviously. I know, and like the people that are within your like reach and your following know that the interview game is on smashing it. So I just think it's sick for like someone like on Vlad's level to finally tap in. And I don't know, man. I just feel like you deserve the opportunity in it. And if one person can get it, that you're the perfect fit for it. And we talk about this shit a lot in it. Like it's not easy out here, bro. So like when you first told me, I was gassed for you, bro. I felt like I got on Vlad.
No, you know what it was for me. I was super excited because obviously, and we've spoken about this in so many different episodes, all the different platforms and all the avenues that I have been working towards in my career. I spent years knocking on One Extra's door. I tried to get into Capital Extra. Back in the day, I tried to get on Kiss, and all of these places are telling me I'm not right for what they wanted to do, or do you know what I mean? The opportunities weren't there. So for a platform as big as Vlad TV to bring me in,
bro. The type, bro. This is the thing, yeah. Vlad, obviously the One Extra, all them other ones is sick, but I feel like the way you do your interviews and the way that you do them deeper conversations anyway, and ask them different level questions, the Vlad thing is like the perfect fit in it. Obviously, One Extra, Capital, all them spots, like they're sick, but you can't interview an artist on them platforms like you would on Vlad's platform, in my opinion.
No. It's not radio material.
That's what I'm saying, and like that's your bag in it. So it's a perfect fit, man. So don't flop the thing, our kid. Don't flop it now.
The egg is in the spoon now. I just got to make sure it doesn't drop.
don't flop the thing now. But it's sick, man. Like the fact that we might actually see a bit of light at the end of the tunnel with the pandemic now, and people are starting to bring, we're back. Jeez, man's back. Celebration over.
Yeah, no, it's glitching my headphones. It was annoying me.
Yeah, it's a good look, man. Like, especially if we do manage to come out the back end of this and we can hit the ground running.
100%. But yeah, it's relating it back to the podcast. I think the pandemic had the same effect on us with this. It was like, right, okay, we've got this time at home now. We can focus on the fact that we're doing what we're doing. We've got a big audience now of DJs across not just across the country, across like the world. We've got Americans, we've got Australians, we've got Europeans. Like, it's sick.
When we get some of the tags, and I'm like, how?
Yeah, how did you find? How did you even? First of all, how did you find this? Secondly, what made you listen to 99 episodes of us talking?
Because especially if you're not British as well. Like, if you're not British, like, and you locked into us for the first time, I reckon we could be a little bit overwhelming or sound a bit mad.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, definitely.
Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're from some next European country or out in the States, and then you lock into us talking about like. Yeah, I don't even like listening to myself, mate. So,
but you know what the cool thing is as well? A lot of the audience. I know I can't say a lot, but some of the audience. It's not just all DJs. Like I know there's security guys and bouncers from clubs that I work at that will talk to me and be like, oh yeah, I heard this week's episode, and talk to me about certain things because it's interesting to them. There's other people. There's people that work in marketing. There's people that work in other parts of the music industry. There's people that just have regular.
We should open this up, you know, to like we are obviously we have got plans to open this up anyway, but open it up even more, bro. Like, there's no reason why we can't. Like, bring in like business owners and like other little bits and bobs. Like, I just feel like the whole world is in a mad phase of evolvement.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, it's a perfect time to evolve with it. You get me? Like, Van's laughing at me. You know, I don't know where that word come from. Is that even a word?
No.
Is that even a word?
I think probably it's evolution is the word you're looking for.
Evolvement.
Evolvement.
Guys, listen, yeah, I make up my own words, bro.
It's all right. I'm being pedantic because I've been doing year 4.
Pedantic?
Yeah, I've been doing year 4 English for the last 12 months. So my word game is up.
I reckon it's a real word, man. I'm going to put my money on it.
He's looking it up.
It's a real word, man.
Whatever. What's the definition?
Evolvement, a progression from a simple form to a more complex one. Development, evolution, growth, and progress unfolding.
Oh, well,
Evolvement. Come on, bro.
I apologize.
Man got a D in English. A joke. I got a B, really. I got a B. Man got a D. No, I'm getting off. Wow. Do you know how many pause moments I've had on Twitch this week? I need to relax, man.
You do need to relax.
The,
All right, let's go on. Sorry, talk about
the people in the chat are telling me to get a pause emote because I've had that many pauses now.
Yes,
anyway.
That's a great idea. All right, let's move on to
let's actually get this episode started properly.
Let's
see what happens when we don't have a schedule.
Talk about Twitch, man, because your Twitch is popping right now, bro.
It's not popping, but I'm fully enjoying it, man. Like, bro, do you know what? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I think Twitch has revived my DJ career. Obviously, we're not in clubs right now, but just in general, just the love of mixing. Like the pressure the pressure that I felt on Instagram when I was doing live streams.
Yeah.
Compared to what I'm doing on Twitch. Like, it's like Twitch is just like DJ set friendly, man. Insta is not DJ friendly, bro, in my opinion. Obviously, some people have managed to make it bang and whatnot, but I don't know, man. Like, Twitch, there's so many things that are sick about it. I can't even speak more highly about Twitch, bro. I'm not even gassing. Like, the community aspect of it, like the way all the DJs are supporting each other and backing each other's streams and like on there, they all believe in this like stronger together kind of movement, and everyone's raiding each other's stuff, and there's no like ego there, and you can play what the hell you want, man. You can play what you want. Like on Insta, you feel the pressure to keep man in, and when the numbers drop, you're like, oh god, like it's not the one. Like, I just thought, you know, let me go to Twitch and just not even put any pressure on myself this time. Let me just not even overthink it. Play what the fuck I want. And just have fun, chat shit, present, do whatever. And it's just started working. Like, it's weird. I didn't get it at first. Like, last year, I tried to use it at the start of lockdown. I didn't give it a chance, man. I totally messed up. I was speaking to Volatile the other day, and even he was like, I don't know why he stopped. And I was like, I don't, because all the people that started then have now like they are like flying with it. We all know like consistency is what, you know what I mean, what gets it up. And I just couldn't understand the platform, man. It felt alien as fuck, bro. The first time I went on there, I didn't get it. It was like Matrix code. It was just I didn't get the emotes, the prefix to drop like things in the chat and the raids and the hype train thing. I just figured out the hype train stuff on the weekend. That was absolutely gassy as well, by the way. So yeah, I just didn't get it.
Break that down a little bit more, the hype train stuff.
All right, so we actually spoke about this with, was it Mojax? I was asking in a DJ group the other day, and Vola was like, "Bro, how dare you come on here and ask these questions when you had like the king of tech on your podcast and he probably answered half these questions." I was like, "Do you know what? He actually did as well." Sorry, mate.
So the hype train is when there's the bunch of people moving from channel to channel, right?
No. That's a raid train. So basically, right, I'm still figuring this platform out. Basically, how it works, you sign up, then you have to like work to get your affiliate, which allows you to like get paid and make money. You have to have a certain amount of viewers in your stream, and you have to stream for so many hours before you get your affiliate thing. Once you get that, you can then be paid by Twitch, and you can get your subscribers and build up your little emotes, which are basically emojis. So when you hit so many subscribers, every subscriber you get a subscriber point. When you hit so many subs, that gives you an emote slot, which allows you to add one custom emote, which is an emoji, to your channel. Every time you tier up, you get new ones. So like, I've just hit my first 50 subs this week. I'm just going to put it, I shouldn't even be telling people my sub numbers, but I've only been on there 3 weeks. So
no, that's all good.
Out there. So I hit my first 50 subs. By the time you get to there, you have 4 or 5 emotes. So now when you sub to my channel, you get access to these emotes and like get extra perks in the chat and stuff like that. So they're like, they support you directly, but then it also gives you like access to like stuff within the channel that's exclusive to the subscribers. Do you know what I mean?
And so the point of having the emotes and stuff is so that it just makes the interaction more fun, right?
Yeah, just like part of the family. It's just kind of a way of supporting, and then like in the chat you can kind of get involved. So I've got like a style. I've got like one of me, like a little emote thing where he's like doing a dab and shit like that, and then I've got like a pull up one, and one that says like good vibes, and it's just random ones in it. But it's like currency on there to them, man. If you have dope emotes, like people just fling them everywhere.
Right.
So when you see them in people's chats in other streams, you can click on them. It tells you where they've come from.
Oh, right. So
You know
by being a subscriber to you,
they can
they
use
have
the
access
emotes
to the emotes on anyone's channel.
on anyone's channel.
Sick.
So like the key little tip, not that I've done it yet, but from what I've seen on there, if you have sick emotes, they flood everywhere. Like Volatile's a prime example. He's got the cleanest emotes I've seen on Twitch. They're everywhere. So like you go into all these streams and people are using them emotes. So
right.
So then that helps your reach within the platform.
Right. Okay.
I've seen loads of dope emotes and I'll click on them and it tells you whose channel they're from and what tier sub it is if you want to get access to them. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Okay. And so so then that leads you then back to that person's channel where you can be a subscriber and get access to them as well.
Exactly that. So like the key is to have super sick like emotes. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing a Drake thing on Tuesday and I've built like a little Drake head emote. Yeah. So everyone can be throwing little Drake.
So behind the scenes of the channels then, there's still quite a lot of work. Like there's a lot of work building these emotes and getting all of this stuff together, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little bit overwhelming at first. There is a lot to figure out. Like once you get your head around the actual streaming side of it and actually setting up, like as you know yourself, like it can be a bit of a mare. But I think once you figure it out, it's definitely way more tech orientated. It is quite a technical platform. But once you get your head around it, it's sick, bro. And it's just the way like it has achievements within the platform. So there's constant targets to hit. So it's not just like, it feels like you're playing a game.
Right, okay.
Like you unlock stuff within your channel and you hit higher achievements and it unlocks this and unlocks that. And then obviously the main goal is to get the partnership with Twitch. Like that's the goal. So you have to hit, like once you get that partnership, you get the verified tick and you can make more money from sponsorships and whatever else. And it just makes you like legit, super legit. Like if you're a partner with Twitch, you're like super legit. I think Miltray's just got the partnership like a week after we had him on.
Right. Okay.
So he got it. I know Vola's got his, and a few other people. So like that's like the hardest thing. So there's three main goals you have to reach to get the partnership, and I think it's like, what were the goals now? You have to stream like 25 hours out of a 30-day period or something like that.
Right.
Which is quite high. And then you have to have like an average of 75 viewers in your stream, like average over your streams for the last 30 days. That seems to be the hardest thing to hit.
But that's about building though. Like for anyone who's listening, that's just about to start. Like me, for example, I've finally got my camera. The camera now talks to the machine, which means I can get visuals, which is this week, obviously, is when I'm going to start doing the Twitch streaming. So for someone like me to expect 75 viewers on average across all the streams, it's going to take weeks of work, isn't it? Like it's not something that
I don't even,
just
to be
jump
honest,
in and expect straight away.
I don't even think it's weeks, you know. I think it's longer. And I like the way they do it because they want to know that you're putting the work into the platform, innit? They're not just going to reward anyone. They know if you hit them numbers and you hit that target, then you're serious. You're on the platform and you're doing it the right way. So like, I'm not against that. I'm already a third of the way to getting it. So, and I've already been on there 3 weeks. So I've hit the first 2 targets and then now I'm just trying to get my average up. My average is already on like 20, 24 or something like that, which doesn't feel like loads. But when they break that over your streams, they don't include like raids and stuff like that. That doesn't count. So if you get raided by 100 people, that doesn't make your average go. Wow.
Where's your pause button?
You get raided by 100 people, yeah. It doesn't count to your average. So you can't cheat it. They want to know that it's you. But
I think that's sick though, bro, because what it will do is it will mean the people that are on there doing bits are really serious about doing it, and it will set them apart and ahead from everyone else. It will stop people just popping out of nowhere, doing numbers and killing it for a month and then disappearing again because they can't be bothered anymore.
100%.
And I think it will definitely, it's going to stop it's going to stop the quote unquote influencer DJ problem that we have on Instagram. because the people that are doing it on Twitch are going to be doing it properly, and they're really
Mhm.
going to be putting in the time and the effort and the work. Do you know what I mean? So,
Do you know what else is sick, bro? There's no rules on there to who can bang. So it's not like,
pause.
no, that's not even a pause, man. This guy, stop reaching. Stop reaching. This guy's reaching, man.
There's no rules as
I'm,
to who can bang.
yeah, that's not a pause. Anyone can get it. anyone can get it. No, I mean, like the people that I've seen on there that are doing really well, you just don't see them anywhere else. Do you know what I mean? Like the people that might be quite on Insta, they might be on Twitch doing the most. Like there's no rules. Like if you're on there and you put in the work, you can make it. Like you can make it bang. Pause.
Yeah.
Like literally, like the DJs that I've seen on there. I followed. There's a girl on there that I seen on a raid train the other day. DJ Miamore. She's like 15. Bro, she comes home from school and goes on Twitch, and she's absolutely killing it, bro.
Yeah.
After school club, and she's playing like proper rhythm, playing proper rhythm, mixing it up. Like I've met so many sick DJs on there already. Like we did a raid train over the weekend, and it was 52 DJs back to back over 4 days.
Sick.
Everyone's doing an hour. So I started it on Thursday. I was the first one, and then it finished last night at midnight, and then you basically go from room to room. So it's kind of like a digital nightclub, bro. It's weird. You can just bounce in and out of different rooms. So like, I'll do the hour, then we'll build it up. And then you set a raid train in your chat. And then it comes up on the right saying like people to get aboard the raid train. So you can like go through the vortex into like a next person's like stream. And then you all bounce over there together into the next stream and like raid the other channel, and then that goes on, and you build it and build it and build it. More people get on board. Do you know what I mean? And it continues, like builds the weight like that. And then there's like hundreds of different array trains for different genres of music. I mean, like people set up their own. So it's sick, man. I just love it, bro. Honestly, like it's definitely brought my vibe back for DJing. I lost the energy, man. Like this shit's just been going on too long. I just fell out of love with it.
Yeah. I think, you know what, now that we've got a potential finish line in sight and the date, I'm skeptical about this 21st of June date, to be honest, but we've been given it. So I think now is definitely a time when people need to start preparing. And I think Twitch is the best platform, bro, if I'm entirely honest.
I fully agree. And it's got legs after this.
Yeah.
Like it's not gonna go away. Like some of the people that are in my stream, bro, they're like 30, 40-year-old, like middle-aged people in America and that. Yeah. And they're in there throwing bits around.
Do you think there's many young people watching?
I think so. Like my brother's son, he's always popping in and out of there. He's only young, but like the kids are more tapped into Twitch than the adults.
Yeah.
I think just the DJing side of it is pretty new to the platform here in the UK. I think in America the Americans seem like they've got it on smash, bro. All the Yanks are killing it.
Yeah.
Like even DJ Audio, we spoke about him on the podcast. Like he's gone clear on there, man.
Is he back doing streaming again?
He's not streaming, but obviously because of what happened, loads of people are just taking over his channel, like helping him build it while he's being well.
Sick.
So he's been constantly streaming. Like he's got the partnership as well.
That's cold. Yeah,
so
that's dope.
Shout out Audio and all the DJs that have been keeping his channel moving for him, which is lit. Yeah, I just feel like after this is done, there's just legs in it. Like the future is here, man. The future is here, bro, completely. So
yeah, I think, you know what, it's one of those things, going back to the conversation we had when this all first started kicking off about when clubs open back up again, if they ask you to cut your pay, etc., like what you're going to do, blah, blah, blah. I think now, the time we're in right now, I know a lot of DJs have spent basically the pandemic not doing much, not really being that active, not really mixing much, not doing anything. And I think like there's nothing wrong with that, but I think now is the time where it's time to get back into DJ mode for everybody. Do you know what I mean? Start getting your practicing up. If you're behind on the music, start digging through and finding some music that you can start playing in the club sets. Get your Twitch or get your Mixcloud or get your streaming, some sort of streaming output some digital output and basically build your brand again. Because I think when June comes around, it's going to be like, what, 15 months since the clubs have been open. And I think it's going to be a bit naive for anybody to think that they can do absolutely nothing for 15 months and then just walk straight back through the door expecting the same level of business as before.
I think it depends, you know. I disagree with that a little bit, only because I know some DJs that are that comfy or that certy with their connects.
Yeah.
That their spots aren't going anywhere, so they'll walk straight back in. Like, I know people that haven't done anything on DJ front,
but that's only within their network.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
If it's just like a club manager somewhere and you're just I say just, I don't mean just, but if you're a resident DJ somewhere and you've got a good relationship with the club manager, that's cool. But what if the club manager suddenly decides, actually, you know what? This is too much of a headache. Like, I'm going to do you something else. What if the club manager leaves? What if the business decides not to open as a nightclub after the pandemic?
I agree.
Do you know what I mean? It gets to the last few weeks and the club just doesn't survive. The business goes down the pan because they haven't had financial support. I think there's so many different factors. But not only that, you got to look at how many people have started DJing in the pandemic and started doing streams. They're building up their fan base. So if you're sat not doing anything at this time now, like this is my point. I think people now is when you get the rust off and you activate and start to make your brand have that value again.
I think it just depends on your personal situation as well, man, and how you feel within yourself in it. Like, this last year and a half has been hard, innit? So it just depends.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it just depends on your situation. Like, bro, before I jumped back on Twitch 3 weeks ago, like, I don't know, bro. I was questioning everything. And I spoke to bare DJs that I felt the same way. I'm like, Rob, is this even going to come back? He's like, is this it? Is this it now? Is it over?
Yeah.
And then you find this other output where you realize you can rebuild your voice and get your brand moving again. Cause it went on that long. You start questioning what's even going on. Like, you feel 100%. Like your brand is going stale. Like, Instagram and nullifying everyone's reach, like all your accounts, everything's slowing down. I'm like, blood, what am I gonna do, like, to get this shit moving again? So I feel like Twitch is like that secret blessing that has.
And that's my point. If a lot of people are feeling like their brand's just a bit stale and they've just covered in rust at the moment, this is the perfect thing.
It's like covered in rust, you know.
Well, no, because I mean, apart from when I had the issues with the ceiling in the studio, I was doing weekly mixes, but then I had like 2 months where I had to completely pack everything up because there's water pouring through the ceiling. I wasn't able to fix it. Yeah, so after that time, I felt a bit rusty getting straight back on the decks. Yeah, do you know what I mean? So like, for some people are a year in now, they're 12 months and they haven't touched the decks. And like I say, I don't think there's anything wrong with that because everyone feels a different way.
You had to do what you got to do what you got to do, bro, to survive this last year. Like, everyone's dealt with it in their own way, innit?
But now, if you want to come out of the pandemic as a DJ and be successful, my advice would be start to put the value back into your brand. Because if you don't value your own brand enough to start even just doing weekly mixes or just not even weekly mixes, but just start putting a couple mixes out, getting ready for Clubland. If you can't be bothered to do that, you cannot expect anyone else in nightlife to be bothered to book you.
No, it's true.
Unless it's like, oh, we need someone for 30 quid. Who can we get? Do you know what I mean? But like,
no, I agree.
Like, and the other thing I've said, like, I've had this conversation with a few DJs, people that are like, you know what, I literally cannot be bothered. I just can't be asked to do any mixing or whatnot. I've said this to a few people, right? Just set up the decks or get on the decks. Don't record. Don't worry about cameras. Just mix to yourself. Just have a mix, like whatever. No one listening, completely offline. Not even Instagram stories. Just jump on for like an hour and just bust some tunes.
Before Twitch happened, that's what I was doing in here when I got my turntables back. I was just like, I was just trying to get the love back for it, man. And I was like, let me just go back to what made me fall in love with this shit in the first place, which was vinyls and turntables and
essential, man.
I just kind of went back to that and then just rebuilt myself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. offline. I mean, going back to the conversation we had with CJ when he was on practice hours.
Yeah, 100%.
Something that a lot of us, when we were really active in the clubs, neglected doing practice hours.
You're practicing in the club, really.
That's it. But it's not.
You go into autopilot mode though most times in the dance. Like you're not even fully practicing because you've done it 50 million times over.
Get on the decks, get your practice hours in. Like imagine being a boxer. You can't suddenly like, okay, cool. The championship's open now. I've got a fight coming up. But you're not even going to train. You're not going to spar before your fight.
You could be like Conor McGregor and just have a year out, jump back in and get boxed.
Exactly.
And that's what Mad thought he could go back in straight against the big dog and just got slobbered.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. You can't expect the June 21st, if your club's open, to just go straight back in. Like you got to get the rust off.
I feel like that June date is not even very realistic, man. I don't even want to come on here and be like negative or anything, but I'm not letting that date gas me at all.
Oh,
like,
no,
I've took that with a pinch of salt, and I'm just going to keep rebuilding. And yeah, man, like I just don't. Bro, we could still be here fucking back end of 2021, mate. For all we know,
there's some happy thoughts.
I know. It's not a good track record, is it, mate? With everything that's been said so far. So
I'm skeptical about June 21st. But
yeah, same.
That's the date we've been given. And if it does happen, it's a Monday. I've actually got a booking that Monday.
Wow.
I know. Straight back in.
Good luck with that.
And then Tuesday, the whole country's going back into lockdown.
It has started picking up in regards to like, it has started picking up with like phone calls and inquiries though, ever since that date. So I don't know what all the other DJs are dealing with out there, but I definitely like a little bit of positive light.
Imagine that
in regards to promoters and nightclubs and stuff hollering again. So like that felt good just to even take phone calls. I've not had to have that awkward conversation yet about finances.
No, me neither. This is the great thing,
which is quite good. But yeah, I know people are definitely going to be having them conversations all across the country, somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, because this is the 100th episode, I don't want to go in depth about that, but we absolutely must, very, very soon, the next week or two, do a conversation about the finances. Which is funny because you remember, right before the pandemic hit, I think the week the clubs got shut, we had actually planned to do an episode called
we did.
How Much Should DJs Be Charging?
Mm-hmm.
And then the clubs all closed down. So it's like, oh, well, let's fuck that one off for a bit then.
it's going to be interesting, man. Let's not go into that today. That's a whole
that's what I'm saying.
That's a whole nother can of worms.
Episode 102 or 103 is going to be called
I'm taking all £50 sets after this.
Oh, what? So you're giving yourself a pay rise?
Yeah. Gone up from 30 quid to 50 quid.
Who has been your favorite guest? Change the topic.
Right, so when we came in here today was like, let's go over some of our favorite episodes and our most important topics and guests, and we've been yapping about Twitch for 45 minutes. Welcome to the TalkOver.
That's what we do. We have a plan and then we dash it out the window and talk about completely different things. Who's been your favorite guest?
Right. So last night, I went through all the episodes. I didn't watch them all. I was just trying to like remember what we've actually done because we've done like 100 episodes. Yeah. My favorite guest, we just spoke about this in it briefly because I think we knew this was going to be my favorite guest before we actually done it because I was fanboying it and I was getting super excited. And the reason this guy was my favorite guest is probably close to the reason why yours is actually. Just for the fact that this person was someone who I looked up to as a DJ, was someone that I listened to a hell of a lot growing up through school. Like, for the people that know me, know that I used to be a garage DJ when I was coming through like high school and that's how I started out. And like the whole Garage Nation movement, like your EZs, like your Dream Teams, all these guys, like this is what I wanted to be. I was like, I want to be a garage guy. I want to be the dude in it. So like, yeah, DJ Spoonie was my favorite guest anyway, just for that very reason that when you go up listening to these people, innit, you just think, you don't think that 10 years, 15 years later, you're going to be sat there talking all these DJ politics with probably one of the most, he's got to be up there, one of the most successful British DJs, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd say so.
He's in the bag. And I think just the fact that he went down the route that he managed to blend the music with the production, with the with the sport side of stuff and the
Yeah.
presenting and mesh all them things together, which is exactly what I'm trying to do. Like, this is like football and music and presenting and all that. And just to see where he's built his career to. And even still now to this day, that's someone who I aspired to like be like and like model my career around, kind of like what Spoonie has done. And just to hear some of the stories, man, like about creating them early productions and the whole garage wave, doing the stuff with Timmy and Mikey B, and like, I don't know, man, like just for that reason alone, bro, just a major inspiration of mine personally, and just getting to sit down and chat to the guy like on a calm, super chilled level for like 2 hours, man. It was just a bit surreal. You probably see my face in the episode. I'm sat there just smiling for like 80% of it. I'm just like,
it was funny because when I remember when I said
fanboyed it that on that episode, you know, it was a bit embarrassing.
No, it's cool. It was cool. But I remember it was funny because when I said to you, I was like, we should get Spoonie on. Like, I can just
Dubl was holding Spoonie back all these years, man.
I was just like, I just call him and ask. I just shout him like, and then you were like, what? Spoon? Yes, get him on. So yeah, I called him like absolute gentleman as well. I've got so much love for Spoonie, man, because there was no hesitation. In fact, every single one of our guests have been incredible and so easy to work with.
True.
Like,
it's true.
Given how some of the guests have mental schedules.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, can you do this date? We're going to record. Come on, have a conversation. And they're like, yeah, sick. I'd love to. Like, I really want to come on. And like every single person's been enthusiastic about coming on. It's amazing.
There's not loads of places for DJs to do this. So like for people to be able to come on and talk about geeky DJ shit. Like this is all DJs want to talk about geeky DJ shit to other DJs. No one else cares. If I go start talking to my missus about all this, like, Anthony, I'm trying to watch something. Like, that's what I get out. Like this is the thing.
Yeah.
And it's like you just said, Spoonie coming on. I was mad nervous.
Were you?
Bro, I still get nervous sometimes when guests come on because to me, I'm just stylist, bro, from the fucking ends. Excuse my language. So like when we talk to these people, I still get nervous, man. I do. I'm not even gonna lie. I get nervous for all of the episodes when we have guests on. And like for someone on that level who have like spent my whole life looking up to have him on, and he was just super chill.
Yeah.
Like the way the guy come in on the intro, I was just like, yeah, this is gonna be sick. This is gonna be sick. So like at the end of the day, we're just obviously you do way more interviews than me in it. Like this is like your bag. I've done interviews over the years, but I'm not in this lane like you are. So like I'm just a little nervous fanboy out here because.
Yeah, no, I get that, and I think because
you're the serious guy of the pod. If people haven't noticed already, I'm just a joker, bro.
But we don't script it either. Nothing's scripted with these
That's
people.
True. That's
so
true.
We literally just jump in and just based off of our knowledge of their career, we're just like, right, on your mics, get set, go. And wherever the conversation goes is where the podcast goes to.
Yeah, I wonder if people actually know that. Like, we don't actually script any of the episodes at all, and like. We used to write bits and bobs down, but as we've progressed, and I think even when lockdown hit, we just said, I think we did one episode where we didn't prepare anything, and it just went sick and like super chilled. Like, you know what? Let's just do it like that.
Yeah.
Let's just have a conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't overthink it. Like, I've got notes today, and it's literally 3 lines, bro. That's it.
Yeah.
It's not even notes. It's literally.
I think our early episodes, we always had a conversation about what we were about to have a conversation about. Mm-hmm. But then, yeah, like you're right. We had one where we just pushed record and just did it. And it was like, oh,
I think it helps with the guests as well, man, because it just leaves it with, I don't want it to be like an interview, like, full on interview flex. You know what I mean? Like, you don't really get the most out of your guests, man. Like we just want to talk. We just want to chop it up. It's called the TalkOver, bro. We just want to talk it over.
And there's only one episode I can remember where I actually meticulously planned every minute of the podcast, almost wrote myself a script, and it was the hearing care one. I think you must have been on holiday that week, or you'd gone somewhere, maybe done an overseas booking or something, so you couldn't record. But I wanted to get one out anyway, so I did one about looking after your ears and ear defenders and stuff.
I've not even listened to that one yet.
I did. I know. I did loads of research.
I don't need an hour of Dubl's voice in my ear. Thank you.
No, that one was. It was only half an hour, but you know what? It was hard, but kind of cool at the same time. I managed to do a half-hour episode.
Yeah, talking to yourself is hard, man.
Just me.
Yeah, they're tough. Them ones. They're tough. Them ones.
But I was happy with how that one came out. But anyway, my favorite guest. Basically,
come on, because Dubl's been waiting to tell this story for the longest. He's like, he messaged me last night. I was like, I just want to tell people why I love this guy, to be honest.
You're such a dick.
That never happened. I just want to tell people why I love this guy so much on the podcast tomorrow.
You're a dickhead.
That's what you said, man.
That text.
Guy sent me a picture of the guy with a love heart next to his head.
This is lies.
He superimposed his head next to his head.
Slander.
So, you can tell I've had no sleep, can't you? Look at this state of me. Go on, Dubs.
My favorite guest, and again, I want to point back to the fact that, it's pretty much exactly the same reasons that you said. And every single guest we've had on has been sick. There hasn't been a guest that I've not enjoyed. But I have to say, my favorite guest so far is nominated by 15-year-old me, and it's Shorty Blitz. And it's because
it's your birthday.
It's mental because I remember being super young and meeting Shorty for the first time when he would have had absolutely no idea who I was at the time because I wasn't anybody. I was just an enthusiastic, gassed up young DJ that saw him in a club. And then I think I met him 3 different times in 3 different clubs over a couple of years before we'd ever formally been introduced. I've got all these photos as well, by the way. I always took a photo with him because
what did I say? Superimposed his face in it and that.
No, these ones are real photos, and and then excuse me. I remember the time when I met him and was formally introduced. It was by a mutual friend of ours who at the time was like a mentor to me in the clubs. A guy who sort of taught me a lot about club life and gave me one of my first regular proper bookings in Brighton. Happened to be friends with Shorty Blitz and was going to London to meet up with him one day for lunch or something, and asked if I wanted to go. And bro, that's like, to me at the time, that would be like asking a young rap fan now if they want to go and meet Drake. Do you want to go and have lunch with Drake? Like, that's the levels that this was to me. Like,
yeah, Tuesday back in the day before like socials was their thing and all that, and you see the DJs like, that are making noise. They were like, they had a bit of a different aura around the minute. Like Shorty was definitely one of them guys, 100.
Yeah. And this is before social media was a thing, so it wasn't like I couldn't just tweet him and get a response.
You couldn't just send him fan mail.
No, and I'm literally being taken to have lunch with Shorty Blitz. And I mean, I was a +1. It was nothing really to do with me. I was just invited along.
My story sounds proper shit now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I know. Mine's not even a story.
But the other thing about it is, and I said this in our podcast with him, the first scratch routine I ever learned was a Shorty Blitz scratch routine that I heard on a compilation CD before I could scratch. And I thought, that's what I want to be able to do. I want to learn how to scratch. So I listened to this one particular thing that he was doing, beat juggling, and tried to do the same sounds. And through that, learned how to scratch and do a proper little scratch routine. So my first ever scratch routine was actually Shorty Blitz's scratch routine. Basically.
So man just bit his flex.
He taught me how to scratch without even realizing it. Basically, yeah. I stole his style. But yeah, so I mean, like I say, 15-year-old me was doing backflips when we had Shorty Blitz on here, because it's like, this guy is the GOAT to me.
It's pretty much the same flex, isn't it? Like, these are the DJs that we grew up like listening to, who we aspire to be like. Yeah. So it's just crazy. It's just sick, man. Like, it's just sick. Like, this is one of them moments where we actually got to sit down for 1 week and just take in like how far we've come with the pod. And we don't normally. We'll just post the episode, crack on, and you know what it's like. Sometimes, every now and again, you got to sit down and like reflect on what you're actually doing out here, man. And we don't do that with this pod, really. We kind of just do an episode right next.
Fling it out and then get on to the next episode.
This is the first time I've actually sat down and looked back over what we've actually done and where we've come from in it. So
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, man, I think it's sick. So Shorty Blitz, Good shout, man. That's a good shout. I know you had that story to tell in it, so.
But I got. Yeah, but again, like I've got a lot of love for every single guest we've had on here because there's not one episode where we've had a guest that I haven't liked. And everyone's got different stories. Everyone's got different views on. What are you laughing at?
When you were saying that, then I was just shaking my head like, nice chatting. All the guests have been shit. No joke. I'm joking. To be fair, like you just said, then every guest has actually been sick. Like it's all the conversations have just been super relaxed and honest, and like that's what we were here to do. In it, we wanted honest, chilled out conversation where people can just feel like they can be themselves, man. Like some people go on these things and don't put their, you know what I mean, their full character out there. Like I don't know, maybe hold back a little bit, but I feel like because we're so chilled with it, it just allows people to speak openly and freely, and that's what we need.
Yeah,
that was our initial like that was our goal in it. That's what we wanted to do, and I think we've done that, man. So here's to the next 100.
Well, we can celebrate our 3rd birthday in like 2 weeks anyway. We'll do another look back. Do you know what? Actually, so one of the wildest hot takes. I don't know if it could be called a hot take, but one of the wildest moments in the Podclart history.
One of the wildest.
Was when Nathan Dorr mentioned how much he spent on a Facebook ad. Don't say the number. Don't say the number, because if anyone's listening to this that hasn't listened to the Nathan Dorr episode, oh my word! Go and listen to Nathan Dorr's episode and check out how much he spent on Facebook ads.
I think that might have surprised a lot of people, you know, because some people just don't realize what actually goes into like stuff like marketing. Do you know what I mean? And what man are doing behind the scenes. You've probably got people out there that just think my man banged off a video overnight, and it's just not the case. Like Nathan has put the work in, and he's invested in himself
massively,
but massive rewards. So, like you say, massive risk, massive rewards, bro. The guy had a song with Little Mix, fam.
I swear, did he have a number? Did he have a number one?
I don't know if it went number one. I don't know if it went number one.
He charted. I remember seeing like some celebrations on the socials. I know he charted quite high with it.
Yeah, he definitely charted. It was definitely top 10, I think. I don't know the exact number, but I just, like you say, massive risk, but massive reward, bro. You got to believe and invest in yourself at first, innit? And Nathan's a prime example of that. But yeah, that's a moment. That was definitely a big gobsmacked moment.
Yeah, massively.
I wasn't even expecting that. I know he goes in with his like he knows what he's doing in it, but I didn't realize it was on that level. So
he got
props to him, man.
He got a number 3. That's where it was.
Okay, so I'm saying for a number 3, he's probably made that back.
Oh yeah, just off of that song alone, 100%.
Yeah, that's it. I'm trying to think, is there any more gobsmack moments?
That's the one that stands out to me.
That is the big one that stands out.
Like if anyone was to say the most astonishing moment.
Jonesy told a good story about gigs. That was a good one. I'm trying to think is there any more? I don't think there's any more. Bro, there's been some sick like gem moments though. Like some of the DJs that give off gems, man. Even like when we spoke to Puffy and he was breaking down like his schedule and the way he travels and moves around. Scotty B, same way. Like that was someone who I looked up to, like coming through as a DJ, and like to get him on, and like that was the longest episode we've done. Like he was giving out all sorts of gems.
Yeah. Shouts to say he's been schooling me on Warzone recently as well.
For real, look at you, little gamer geeks, man. Flipping it. Who else? I'm trying to think. Even just when we had Chucky on, like that was one of my favorite episodes, man. Like I properly enjoyed that, and that was when we was going on the road to do episodes.
Yeah, that's
to London, going up to
Scotland,
going down to London. Like we were moving around, man. We had so many other plans that we could have carried on doing that and taking it to different cities and whatnot. So one for the future.
Before it was illegal to leave your house, we used once upon a time.
I know.
When we were younger, we used to go to actual studios, and we were allowed to sit within 2 meters of each other.
It's crazy, man, isn't it?
Before that was illegal. We did one definite landmark. I won't just say in DJ podcasts, but I think this one really hit for a lot of people was the one we did about anxiety and depression in the DJ world. But it kind of,
that was actually ages ago when we done that as well. I think that was one of the first. That was one of the first topics we tackled, wasn't it?
Episode 12. That one was. So it was
Wow.
in the first 3 months. Yeah, in our first 3 months of doing a podcast, where we both spoke about like our journeys with anxiety and our experiences going through certain depression and stuff, which related to DJ world. But the amazing thing about that topic was, at the time when we recorded and put it out, it didn't seem to be like a really open thing that loads of people would just candidly talk about.
I feel like I feel like after that, moving forward, it just became more like people being way more open about it. Obviously not because of our episode, but
because of us.
Nah, not because I just mean in general. I just mean in general. Like it felt like people find it way more easy to talk about it now.
Yeah, 100%.
Like if you go back 4 or 5 years ago, it was semi frowned upon.
Well, bro, 3 years ago when we spoke about it, it wasn't something that you heard people talking about all the time. And again, yeah, obviously we didn't kick the ball rolling and make everyone suddenly start acknowledging anxiety and start talking about it. But the fact that we tackled it before, it wasn't, I don't want to say it was a taboo topic because it was never taboo, but it wasn't something a lot of people, especially DJs, really put out there.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Is going through this stuff. So that one, I think, that's in our top 3 or 4 most listened to episodes.
I think it's such a relatable topic, bro. Like even for DJs that are dealing with it, but keep it to themselves, innit?
Yeah.
Like just hearing other DJs be so open about it. Like I got messages off the back of it, and like I've always been super vocal about the anxiety stuff. Anyway, even from before anyone was even talking about it, I used to post about it on Facebook, and I used to post about it on my Twitter, and it's not something I've ever shied away from. But that entices other people to open up and speak about it. But I'd be like, right, I had no idea.
Yeah.
You have no idea. Like you can't. Like you don't see it. You don't see anxiety on people when they walk past you in the street. I mean, you don't know what people are dealing with inside of themselves, innit? I feel like that's one of the anxiety in the DJ world seems like a thing that a major high percentage is probably dealing with, which is mad. I don't even know why that is. But I get anxiety before I go to every DJ set. I don't like different levels every time, but it's even still to this day. Like before we do Twitch streams and shit like that, I get anxious. Don't know why. I don't even know why anymore. It's like it's just drilled into me.
Yeah.
But you learn to. It doesn't ever go away, but you learn to just manage it better and better. And the more you deal with it, the better you learn you figure out how to manage it.
See, this is where I disagree with you saying it doesn't ever go away. So, because for me, obviously, in that episode, I spoke about the hypnotherapy that I had.
Yeah.
And that got rid of it.
Okay.
Like it got rid of it. And until I would say probably it's kind of crept back a little bit through the pandemic. But I think that's more just a case of clubs shutting down, about 75 to 80% of my income just dropping off overnight. Do you know what I mean? Then suddenly I've got to homeschool an 8-year-old and keep him up to speed with stuff. I think a huge lot of unseen life stuff just suddenly got piled on top. But even then, the feelings I have had, which I could point and say, yeah, that's probably a bit of anxiety. It's probably like 10% of what I had before.
Okay.
And I think because I can recognize what it is as well.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? I recognize the feelings and I'm like, oh, okay. And even still, like I haven't had to use them, but I've still got the recordings of the hypnotherapy on my phone if I ever need them.
Yeah.
And they work, bro. This is the amazing thing.
That's
even now,
crazy.
Without the hypnotherapist in the room, I could plug it in and there's certain things that she goes through. Bruv, I could do it right in front of you. And within 2 minutes, I'll be, boom, fast asleep.
That is crazy.
In the middle of a hypnotherapy session. And then half an hour later, she does this countdown thing that brings you back. And then I'll be awake again. Anxiety gone.
I am not even going near anything like that, bro.
But no,
not
bro,
it
was liberating, man. I'm telling you. And I tried this because I got to a point where it was affecting me so badly that I was like, I need to do something. And it was the last thing I wanted to choose before going to the doctor and getting tablets.
Okay.
I was like, I'll try this weird hippie shit of hypnotherapy because I don't want to go down the pharmaceutical route. And if hypnotherapy doesn't work, the worst side effect is it doesn't work.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Whereas with tablets and all of the medical stuff, pharmaceutical things, there's side effects and all of that stuff. So I was just like, let me just try this weird hypnotherapy stuff I've heard about. And bro, I'm telling you, it works, and it worked amazingly.
I think everyone's case is different, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not saying it wouldn't work on me, but I just feel like I wouldn't warm to that, like that hypnotherapy stuff. It just don't sound like something I would be into at all. That whole being put under a spell and all that. Right.
Put under a spell.
Keep me away from all that. Like I've never gone to meds or anything, and like I've just learned to. I did CBT for time, innit? I was seeing like a private counselor and all that. I ended up going private, and some big up Helen. Shout out Helen. That's my homie. I kind of dealt with it that way and just tried to retrain my brain because I was triggering a lot of the stuff in my own head that I didn't even need to.
Cognitive
behavioral therapy, and it's just like it's basically like retrains your brain and your train of thought and how you like think and process stuff. So like I was feeding my own anxiety all the time and making myself worse, and you've got to learn, like, now when it comes, man can just be like man can bat it away and stuff now, and I can figure it out. Every now and again it gets hold of me, but I'll never let it hinder me, like within the workplace, you know what I mean? Like I've carried it my whole career, so everything that I've done so far, I've probably carried a big weight of anxiety while I've been doing it.
But I mean, the CBT is non-pharmaceutical as well, isn't it? It's just like a way of training your brain. What I found was with the anxiety, whenever I got the first sign of anxiety when I was about to get, like, when it was about to really kick off, was like, I call it a panicked heart. It was like a weird, it was like a weird adrenaline shot from my heart.
It's that fright, like you're just about to get into a scrap or something.
Yeah, exactly that.
Like that adrenaline you get when someone's about to punch you in the nose.
And one thing, it is. It really is. But one thing I found is as soon as I got a tiny little hint that was going to happen, in my head, it became like an echo chamber where it's like, oh shit, it's going to happen. Oh shit, it's going to happen. Oh shit, it's going to happen. Oh shit, and then boom, it just, do you know what I mean?
That is one way to explain it. It's so true. My shit just gets louder. The shit just gets louder and louder.
Yeah. And then so that's it. Like,
oh, panic attack.
Yeah, that's it. So with CBT,
I'm dying.
So with CBT,
it's so true.
It allows you to be like,
laugh about it now.
Oh, shit's going to happen. Stop.
Yeah, it's true.
And that's what happens, isn't it? Whereas with the hypnotherapy, it hasn't happened. I've not had that. I don't even get that. Oh shit, it's going to happen. Like
that's sick.
It just doesn't happen at all. But like I say,
I didn't think the seat through at all. It's well
uncomfortable. with the pandemic, it's been slightly different because, like I say, there's been other factors, and then I get little moments where it's like, oh shit, I've got DJing and I've got schooling today and I've got to do this and I've got house stuff to do. And like,
that stuff there is like that. If I've got pure stuff on and I'm balancing, obviously, because I do like the video editing, I'm streaming, I'm trying to keep my own stuff alive, I'm shooting videos, whatever else. And then every now and again, I'll have a line of work in all of them. So I'm like, and I'm just like, yeah. And then I start like getting just mad overwhelmed. Like, you just got to learn to, I don't know, man. You figure it out eventually, innit? Like with time, I've managed to figure that out. But I feel like that anxiety and depression, like 3 years ago, especially now with what all DJs have had to go through in the last year, 80% of your income, whatever, all just gone, if not 100%. Like everybody questioning their careers, people that are just starting out or people that have been here for 15, 20 years. Like we've all been absolutely pelted. Like this is probably the most mentally challenging time we'll go through in our lifetime.
Oh, without a doubt. Not to mention, there's DJs out there that have had absolutely no help. Like some of us are fortunate in the sense that Rishi dropped a couple little pay packages here and there, which has helped tide people over. But there are a huge percentage of DJs that haven't had a penny, bro, and they've literally been like, some people have lost the houses or flats that they were renting. Some people have lost relationships because of the pressure. Some people have had to move back in with their parents, like on top of the fact that not only is their business gone, they chose to be a DJ because they love DJing. So it means not only is the business gone, the thing that they love doing is currently illegal in clubs.
Yeah, that's mad. That's
Do you know what I mean? So it's like, I definitely would urge anybody. It's episode 12, Anxiety and Depression in the DJ World, it's called. And
we should do another one, you know, but like bring like a professional on.
100%.
I think that would be. I think that would be sick. That would be a very, very sick one. Like,
we could bring our therapists on. My therapist versus your therapist.
I don't know. Yeah. To be fair, Helen would probably come on. You know,
like a versus battle.
Helen would probably come on. She's so sick. Like, bro, 10 years ago, if you said to me, "Yo, go and see a cognitive behavioral therapist or whatever," do one. I'm not going. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm not going to see this person. It's the best thing I ever done, and it made me realize how much I didn't understand my own brain.
Yeah.
Like I did, but I didn't. Do you know what I mean? So when certain things happen, like I'm not understanding like how I'm wired up. So it's doing that was a major eye opener, man.
Yeah,
I've got a big folder of documents at home still from all the sessions.
But you haven't read them once, though, have you?
I did after I was doing the sessions, but like now I try not to go back to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, try not to go back to it. But if anyone is thinking about going for CBT, I think I couldn't speak any more highly.
There you go. There's Helen. And Samantha was the name of my therapist. But yeah, I mean, like I say, if anybody listening is going through it a little bit, feeling a bit down or feeling anxiety, I think is probably one of the biggest things. But
yeah, 100%.
Especially given that a lot of people will now have like the potential for club bookings start to come back in. So they might start feeling a little bit nervous about it. Like, go back and just check out episode 12 if you haven't already. Or even if you have, give it another listen, because it was like 2.5 years ago we dropped it. Like,
that's the thing. People don't realize that we've been unplugged from society for this long. Like, a lot of people are going to struggle reintegrating. Like, social anxiety is going to be through the roof, mate. Like, we've been that used to not moving around. All of a sudden, clubs on a Tuesday, clubs on a Thursday. Like, I used to get it before anyway. So like now, obviously we're going to get back to work and we're going to make it work anyway. But there's going to be so many people that have been unplugged for that long. It's going to be a progress, like trying to like reintegrate back.
It's going to be weird. Society. It's going to be weird being around so many people. Like I've been only more recently, I've been around people actually face to face because of the interviews that I've been doing. Obviously, I started up the face to face interviews again. But before that, bro, like
nothing.
My social life has been out the window.
Yeah, so, like, I think it has for everyone except all the people that are being naughty, obviously. But like, I've definitely, I think I've been lucky that I've managed to do a couple of like when we were open, I was still spinning out quite regular. Even with the distancing and stuff, you're still like seeing people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think my biggest thing is most of the time when I meet up with like my friends or other people or whatnot, what I do it's extremely exciting to them. The fact that I could have sat down with one of their favorite rappers that week and had a conversation, it's quite exciting. So they'll often ask me about it, like, oh, well, what were they like, and what would it do, this and that, and or in the clubs, like, what's happened in the clubs recently? But literally, people are like, so what have you been up to? Like, well,
I get messages like, so what are you gonna do now then?
Really?
Yeah, like what you do, like what are you gonna do now? Like you could like your career's over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mad.
Like all we do is just go to the club. But if people only knew the half of this stuff, bro.
Yeah. Hope you messaged them back. Yeah, thanks for the support. Wild. So
mate. It's been wild. But yeah, that's definitely one of, I think that's probably one of our most important. That's got to be the number one.
Yeah.
For the most important episode, man.
If someone said to me, point me to one episode I absolutely have to listen to on your podcast, I'd say episode 12. Go. That's it. Which I don't know what that says about us, the fact that we haven't made a better one.
It's not that. I just to be fair,
episode 12.
No, I don't know, man. I feel like if life didn't go the way it's gone in the last 12 months, maybe that wouldn't have been our most important episode. But I just feel like with the way everything's gone on and how many people can relate and are dealing with the same kind of stuff, it makes it super important because that kind of shit hinders your life, man.
I think that episode will always be up there. And it's funny because I remember when we first started, we were like, this is a topic we have to do. Let's hold on to it for a bit until we've got some listeners. And then episode 12, we were like, let's just do it. Let's go. Let's drop it in.
Yeah, I think
So,
I don't think that was a bad thing at all, man.
No, not at all.
And everything we said in it is still stands and is still relatable. So yeah, man.
Which there's a perfect segue to the next one, because we said that episode 60, the DJ backup plan.
Bro, listen, yeah,
was a great topic to have.
We spoke about this 2 weeks before lockdown.
I was just about to say it was really
2 weeks before everybody lost the job and had no backup plan. What are the odds? Because I remember me saying, no, you got to build the side hustles, and you were saying, nah, go all in.
Focus. Yeah, focus on your DJ.
And then just like that, nobody is a DJ. No one. And every DJ in the world, no matter what level you're on, is now all on the same level.
So I want to formally apologize.
So I want to formally take back everything I said in that episode.
I want to formally apologize to every single listener for my advice in that episode.
Bro, listen, if I didn't have them other hustle backup plans doing the videos and the creative bits and all that, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that saved me, cuz, no lie.
The radio edit business that I have, that I've spoken about several times on here, became the main income. So as soon as things hit the fan and DJing wasn't a thing anymore, it was always, for me, while pre-pandemic, it was just something that I could do. And if a job came in, it would. I didn't have a website. The email address, I think, at that point had lapsed because I hadn't paid the subscription to it. This is how unbothered I was about this business that I had just sat on the side. But all of my connects in radio, all of my connects in the labels knew that it was there. And occasionally, like once a month, maybe I'd get an email saying, can you just clean this up for me? When DJing disappeared, I was like, I need something. And that was when I was like, why have I not been pushing this? Because suddenly I activated the website, I got the email address back, got some new branding going, opened an Instagram for it, started posting, and there's a couple of people that helped me out. You were one of them. Shouts to David as well, who's a regular listener. He helped me out with some tips to do with it as well.
It goes back to what we said before, bro, like the pandemic giving you the kick up the arse.
Exactly that, bro. And I restarted a business. I mean, I started a business. It was there, but it was just ticking over. I had absolutely, if nothing ever came in at that point, I wouldn't have cared.
It's because you're in that routine, bro, and the money's coming in and life is
exactly.
good in it. You don't need to, oh, that's cool. We'll build that on the side.
Yeah.
When really it needs that injection.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then luckily I jumped straight into it. I think I did. I got into it quite quickly, obviously adjusting with all the homeschooling and stuff like that. But then I got into it quite quickly, got the website up, got everything going, told all my label connects and artists and all this stuff that I know, right, this is the thing now, this is what I'm doing. And then luckily, like, I've had a steady stream coming in, which is good, because that's definitely is kept the mortgage paid. So
where do you stand on the backup plan now with the uncertainty of,
I would say,
the DJ, because DJing could come back.
Oh yeah,
but it might not be anywhere near what it was before, and the finances might not add up. Like, do you know what I mean? You might not be able to live off.
I mean, yeah, going back to what I was saying earlier, I feel like, especially like what I've done through the pandemic in terms of my brand, the partnership with Vlad and the other stuff that I have done, and the fact that I am about to start live streaming now that I've finally got all the technical issues sorted on the weekend. I like to think that by the time clubs come back, I have added to my brand.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think there's going to be, or I like to think that there's going to be more demand, and that the DJ Dubl name is better coming out of the pandemic than it was going in. So for me, earning less from DJing after the pandemic than I was before, that's not an option. Like, I will be earning more. Like, I'm certain of that. But I also have a daytime business now that I run that I've designed to be run at any time of day from anywhere in the world. So this is the amazing thing. If I do decide one day, actually, I want to take a month off of DJing and go kick
it's
it in Thailand.
It's a business on wheels, isn't it? You can take that anywhere and
Bruv,
work
it
on
exists.
the
It exists in my laptop and with my headphones. As long as I have an internet connection, the business runs.
That's what's sick about being in the digital world now. Like even with the same with what
100%.
I'm doing with the videos, like you can do this stuff anywhere.
Yeah.
So like you could be traveling, but as long as you're keeping your weight up online or you like posting your workout and people are staying plugged in, that allows you can get that nice side income.
Literally, I mean that's the thing though. It's not a side income now. That daytime
it's not now.
It's the main income right now.
It's not now. Yeah, obviously.
But the beauty of it is, I could move to Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
And the business comes with me and still operates the same. I don't have to suddenly work weird hours. I still work the same amount of time.
Start creating music in Jamaica, you'll be rich in no time, bro, because them man cuss. I'm going to have work galore.
Well, I've done loads of stuff for dancehall artists over the last year. I've done loads of dancehall projects. So I take back my advice. Pre-pandemic, I said, focus solely on
just say Stylist was right. It's all good.
Stylist was right, basically. If you're a DJ and you're doing clubs, but here's where I would say though.
To be fair, at the time when you said it, bro, I can see why you wouldn't. And if a pandemic wasn't around the corner, I can get why you would say go 100% in and make that shit work. I get it. But there was always that thing in the back of my head where this shit could get pulled from under our feet at any time.
Yeah.
Not in the form of a pandemic though. So like the fact that came a couple of weeks later is just a madness.
Yeah,
it's just a madness. But now when this comes back on the flip, you don't know how long the recovery process is going to be, how long these clubs are going to open for. Could they close again? Like it's just having that something, or even throughout the pandemic, like you say, we had the episode where we talk about learning new skills and whatever. Learn something new that can maybe help assist with what you're doing.
That's what I'm saying.
I learn video and design and everything else, but that feeds into my own career.
Yeah,
but I don't need to outsource it or pay people for stuff on, so I save money there, but it allows me to generate income as well. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. I feel like having a side hustle, if you want to call it that, or another job or another business as well as DJing, I would say try and make it as close or as synonymous with DJing as possible. Even if it's just like you want to open a social media marketing business. Do you know what I mean? Or like there's a billion different things that people could do. But I would say,
if you keep it in line, you don't cross over too much. Like if I go and work in a completely different line of work that's on the total opposite end of the spectrum to where I am now, like that, it's gonna get pulled apart in the middle somewhere, innit?
Exactly. And I think going back to the one we recorded before the pandemic, I think my thought process was, if you're a DJ on Friday and Saturday nights, but then Monday to Friday you're an estate agent, you're not going to be focusing on your DJing, and it's going to be very, very difficult, not impossible, but extremely difficult for you to ever break through and become one of the elite DJs.
That's true.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's going to be very, very difficult to make £1 million from DJing if Monday to Friday you're an estate agent or a dentist or any other job. Not saying you can't do both, but the way I looked at it then, and I guess I still look at it now, if you've got like a serious or conventional job in the week and you DJ at weekends, DJing is the hobby, or DJing is the side hustle. Do you know what I mean?
This is where it's tough, bro, yeah, because you know what they always say, oh, you got to have multiple, if you want to like be rich or whatever, you got to have like multiple income streams, free incomes, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, sometimes you can do too much.
Yeah, 100,000%.
So I was at the point where I'm speaking to the missus at home, and I'm like, yo, like, yeah, I'm doing well in all these little avenues, but to really make one of them bang, I'm pulling myself around too much.
Yeah.
Like whether you're delegating and getting someone else to come in and help your business or whatever, like I was overstretching to the point where I was trying to build compound at the start, but it wasn't getting the time or attention that it needed. So I kind of put that to the side a little bit and came back to it again now with the Twitch. But then I've got the Twitch on, but then I'm looking at what's popping on Twitch, and it's time and consistency that will make you win on Twitch. So then that needs a mass input, but then the DJing comes back. But I'm also editing videos and doing that. So like now at the minute, I'm finding myself doing the edits in them pockets of hours that I've got, them spare hours that I've got. and then a minute of doing Twitch, but then the clubs are going to open again soon. So like sometimes you can overstretch.
Yeah,
by
massively.
trying to chase too many. I don't know,
Massively,
man.
and I think no, I fully agree. I think this multiple income streams is great advice for people that already have money. And I think the multiple income streams thing is something that you set up businesses and have other people run them to make you the income, or you buy another house and rent it out to make the income, or you invest in crypto to make the income in 10 years time, or you invest in stocks and shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, these are what I see as multiple income streams. It doesn't mean spinning too many plates and running.
You want to make you got to make the money work for itself, innit? Like you say, investing in the right places, like crypto. I've just started tapping into crypto a couple months back. So like, yeah, you just got to try and find ways to make that money work for itself.
Exactly. And I think that the multiple income streams is a great thing, like I say, for people that already have money, so they can set stuff up that is just residual income, that it makes its money itself. Basically, they can just point other people towards it, be like, you do this, I'll make the profit. And they can still focus on DJing or focus on whatever their main focus is. But I think, yeah,
even delegating, bro, as well, man. Like, that's one thing I've struggled with, like getting other
people. Like outsourcing?
Yeah, outsourcing and just delegating roles to other man them and getting people in that are better. That's might be like something that you maybe not excelling at, but you're in that line. Get someone else in that can deal with that. You're not going to make all the money, but the job gets done in a more professional manner.
100%.
It allows your business to grow. Like, I was out here trying to do all of it.
Yeah.
I don't even know why I used to delegate loads of stuff. I used to outsource all sorts of stuff when I was doing jam, but then I found myself going back and forward with people all the time, and it was just long. I was like, I can do this myself rapid. So that was the only reason I went down that route, just to make things quicker.
Yeah, 100%.
Go through.
My thing is I enjoy 90% of the processes for creating things. So let's just talk about, like, for interviews, for example. I do everything myself. I do the research. I book in the artists. I have my own cameras, my own sound, my own lights. I set everything up. Everything you see in my interviews is set up by me. And then I do the editing and everything. So that's all stuff that I'm capable of doing. Now, if someone else was to do it, they might not necessarily do it exactly how I want. So now I've got to say, yeah, that's cool, but can you change this? And not only that, if I'm paying you 150 quid. I'm paying you 150 quid to do an edit for something that I can do in probably the same amount of time for free.
Yeah, I think that's where I struggle, man. I think the same way, like, man will hit you with the bill and you're like, right, I could do that.
Yeah,
I could do
that.
But
at the same time, I'm a big advocate of. I've had people say to me, like, "Oh, can I get involved in the channel? Like, I'll work for nothing and I'll do this for free." I'm not about that. I don't want to start leeching off of people's time.
Yeah, 100
for free, because I think if you're skilled at something, then you should be able to earn from it. But there's not
always money to throw around either, bro. So, like, learning it yourself and doing it yourself sometimes can save,
massively.
Having to overspend.
Like, definitely.
Because not everyone, like, say you've got a startup, you might not have loads of money to throw around. So if you have them extra skills yourself, it might be a little bit of extra work and more grind, but you're saving having to, eat out your own pocket. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and I mean, using my channel as a perfect example, I don't make a lot of money off my YouTube channel. So if I was paying a crew if I was paying videographers to come and film, someone to come and do the sound maybe, or do you know what I mean? A photographer there, then an editor, bro, I'd be thousands and thousands in. Like, I am thousands in because I bought the equipment, but then every week I'm having to pay hundreds of pounds out to help get these interviews out. And it just doesn't make sense for me.
Yeah, it's not the one.
But with that said, there is an important time to outsource things. And I think it's when you're spinning too many plates, you need to find that one task that someone can do better and quicker than you.
I was gonna say, it's realizing, like, what you do, what you excel at, and what you're not so good at. Do you know what I mean? And making 100%. Them decisions. Because, like, I remember I just used to be like, yeah, I could do all of it.
Yeah,
I'm doing it. I'll do everything. Like, sometimes you just got to be like, nah, this guy is lit at what he does. I mean, bring my man in. You're just realizing what you I mean, picking your stronger and your weak points, man.
No, exactly.
Oh,
which is why, like, I've had you help me with some of the visual sides of my channel, and I've had you knock up artworks and stuff for me because I'm not amazing at artwork.
Shout me.
So
shout me, cuz.
You get me. But yeah,
backup plan. Advisable.
Yeah, fuck this DJ shit. It's unstable as hell.
But then again, bro, I'm tapping into Twitch now. I'm like, I could probably build a career on Twitch now if the clubs don't stay open. Like,
well,
the passion for the music, but also it's monetizable from the off, bro. You can instantly make money. I've only been on there 3 weeks, and I'm making money. I'm not doing it for the money, but you do want to make money, obviously, because like it's life. So I'm doing it for the passion of it, but I'm reaping the rewards from it already. Like people see the passion and the way you are, and they buy into that. Like that personable approach on Twitch is what wins. So if you can present and vibe, people will warm to you. And that's what I found on Twitch is like, that's what wins. And man are making, bro, I won't say the name, but I spoke to someone, a DJ on there who's local to me, who's doing really well. He started on there when I started on it last year, but I bounced after 2 weeks. He's been on there every week. So he's on like week 57 now. Bro, he said he's made 25 bags.
25 grand off of Twitch,
Twitch this year.
Woo! As soon as we're done here, I'm going to be live on Twitch. So it's twitch.tv.
Like, I'm just saying that. I'm just saying that as an example for someone who's made it work. And I spoke to him before I fully went at it again with mine, and he was like, "Look, Style, like if you do it right, you know what I mean, you can rebuild your brand fully, like you can re-energize everything, but you can live off it. So I mean, like it's sustainable." And my man's streaming from his living room, every day.
I heard Mo Jackson versatile and volatile. Versatile.
MC versatile.
Mo Jackson and volatile are making about 2 million a month, I reckon.
I reckon Vola's doing the most. Because when I'll be looking into his, man are throwing, you can gift subs and that. So like you could go in there and like you can give subs to people in the chat, and man will be in there like, I've gifted 15 subs and shit. Like, what?
Yeah, Vola's making at least £3 million.
His attention to detail though, and like the level of quality in Vola's, he's probably up there with the leading guys in the country, man, on Twitch for me.
It's good to see.
It's so clean, so professional. Great persona, good personality, musically, like playing lots of new shit. Like I'm blowing smoke up his bum now, but yeah, it's actually super sick, bro. Like that's someone who's set the level so high. He built a computer the other day. He was putting it on his story. He's built this streaming computer. It looked like a hotel block. Like, it was just ridiculous. The thing's lighting up and shit. Like I was like, wow.
Sick.
So, yeah, just as an example, like Twitch is something that can be sustainable and keep your DJ stuff moving and generate income, which is lit. So yeah, there you go.
Definitely backup plan. Fuck a backup plan. Got on Twitch, and I mean, obviously, talking about Twitch actually points us towards episode 40.
Which was
build your own platform.
Is that the one I picked?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, man. And the reason I picked this is for this reason. I just feel like now, more than ever, even looking at our own journeys, the way we both were like knocking on the door at One Extra and we've all been trying to tap into these other platforms. I feel like now, more than ever, and the person that we had on for that episode, who was Chucky, is the prime example of someone who got knocked back by the bigger brands like the One Extras or whatever. And I was just been like, okay, I'll do it my way.
Yeah.
So I mean, and he's gone and built. That was a year and a half ago. So like when we had him on to where he is now, and the amount of other things that he's tapping into and where he's built his own pod to, I just feel like building your own thing couldn't be any more relevant now, man. With the tools that are out there and the platforms that are available, with Twitch, with Insta, with YouTube, whatever, Clubhouse, people are doing sets on Clubhouse now, and like shout out to Smooth Fuego. He's got thousands of man in his Clubhouse DJ set. I feel like that building your own platform thing, the weight, you've got to build the weight within yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
Working for One Extra, no, like, is sick, like, fully, like, if One Extra offer me a show tomorrow, I'm there, obviously, but when you leave One Extra, so I mean, everything's...
You've got, that's the thing, when you leave One Extra and you're no longer a One Extra DJ or a Capital Extra DJ, what do you have? Where's your ownership? Like,
you've got your rep.
Yay!
You've got your reputation, and like it happened to me in Manny when I did the drive time for like 3-4 years.
Yeah.
And like built, like, it's one of the main reasons how I built my name here, being on radio 5 days a week for that long. But then at the end of it, when I left, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm not on radio no more. All of a sudden, the labels don't want to send you the interviews too tough because you've not got the output. You're not on air anymore. Like, and you can just, it's, if you build your, like, look at Chucky now. He's not in danger of anything because he's built and everything has been put into himself.
The amazing thing about Chucky's example is he built his own channel from scratch. He's just about to hit 100,000 subscribers as well. He's got one of the most important podcasts within our culture in the UK.
Easily.
He's unrestricted. He can talk one week, he can talk about how sick Gets' album is. The next week he can be talking about Oprah's interview. Do you know what I mean? And I'm just giving the two recent examples. Like he's had porn stars sit on there talking about the grimy end of the adult biz, but then he's had like there's some girls that run some Muslim girls that run a podcast talking about their experience. He had a girl recently who was talking about being dragged into like the drug underworld, how she was running bandos and shit like this. But then he's also had Krypton Conan on talking about music. Like it just follows his narrative. Whatever he said, the urban financier guy who gives like the financial advice. Do you know what I mean?
They're sick them.
How many different wild topics have I just mentioned?
Well, that's it because he's in your own boss.
It's
your platform,
completely unregulated. And what he's found is by building that and putting himself in that position, he's now presenting a lot of the stuff for Amazon Music.
He's doing the noise. He's doing the noisy stuff. The noisy.
He's
docs,
doing
which
the
is
documentaries with Vice and Noisy. He's doing JD's Duffel Bag podcast,
which is different than guests on there as well. By the way, Anthony Joshua and that H, all these people are out of reach, bro.
Yeah. So by building his platform to that level, suddenly all these other brands now want to align with him, and he calls the shots.
This is the thing, that's when you build your own platform to that level, it creates leverage in your favor.
Massively.
So you you create leverage. I was going to say something then, but I won't. So I'm not going to stir the boat too much. I feel like from when we recorded that to now, it couldn't be more relevant. And you see everybody building that, like Silk, great example. He's been a household name and he's been out here since forever. But the way he built his Instas, and now he's flipping that over to Twitch. He started flipping that over to Twitch this week, and people are instantly migrating over. Like, build your platform. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not saying don't chase the big ones. Like, of course, I spent years chasing one extra, but when I finally got to the top, I was turned away for a technicality.
But you know what I think is wrong though now. We approached those radio stations because I approached Capital Extra as well as One Extra and Kiss, like all of the big ones. Radio One, the lot. I sent demos. I was knocking on doors, making friends with producers and DJs. We took the wrong approach because we took the old approach of keep knocking on the door, wait to get noticed, then be brought in. That's the wrong way to do it now.
Yeah, no, but it wasn't then. It wasn't then, though. Our approach was relevant to the times.
I think our approach was relevant at the end. Our approach was coming towards the end of its time. So we just missed the window there. Because if we were doing it the right way, we would both have shows on One Extra right now. But we just missed the window. Because I don't know. Go on. If you look at the people that are succeeding now, not just in radio, but I mean in different aspects, they're the ones that took the approach of build my own thing up, get my own fan base, and then the brands come to the like.
I did that, but I was knocking on air at the same time, but it was just harder up in Manny to London.
Yeah, definitely.
My thing was, my show was when Charlie's was on when he first started on Drive. So the way that integrated is I was tapping into that same audience.
Right.
So people were tweeting me and then they were tweeting Charlie. And then it became a thing on Twitter of what show people were looking into.
Right.
And like people would tag Charlie in, but then they would come over to mine at 6 for the Mix at 6 thing before One Extra stole it off me. So like
I thought you were going to say the name then.
So that kind of put me in the window, which eventually led me to getting a Mix residency on Charlie's show for like 2 years.
Right.
So I feel like that approach wasn't the wrong way. I don't think there's a right or a wrong way to do it. Like there's people getting on One Extra that haven't built a massive name for themselves in the street, but people see the potential. Like Yasmin got a main show on there. She was doing radio locally, just community.
Yeah, but bro, she's been on there for like 10 years now.
Yeah, no, but that was the same time we were trying to get on there. But she was doing the same as us. She was just knocking on the door. Did like 6 months of pilots and was like working her way in, and it's still there now. She's part of the furniture now.
Yeah,
but
what I'm saying
I think each individual one is just each individual journey is just different, isn't it?
But I'm saying now, I think you're going to be more successful getting into bed with these bigger brands by building your own thing.
Yeah, 100%.
And not only that, it's because there's other brands. There's other brands that want involvement in the music industry now. There's drinks brands. There's sports brands. Do you know what I mean? There's clothing brands.
Everybody's trying to align with music now, man.
Exactly.
Everybody.
And podcasts and mixes and videos and all sorts of stuff. So it's about building up your thing in the way that you want to do it.
I agree.
And then when you've built up the audience big enough, that's when the bigger brands start to notice you, like, oh shit, okay, he's doing those kind of numbers. Now let's get involved. The great thing about doing it that way is, okay, this is my channel. If you want to get involved, here on my terms.
There's no compromise in it. You're the
boss.
No
compromise, yeah.
So like when people come and knock on, they're getting what they see. Like, this is me, this is my shit, and I'm running it this way. So the right people will align.
But if you work for someone else, and I'm not saying it's wrong working for someone else's brand, because there's people doing amazing things working for One Extra, Capital Extra, or other brands, etc. But when you do it that way, you have to adhere to their rules and their way of doing things.
Yep.
Which for some people works amazingly, but for some it doesn't. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't personally think someone like you. Okay, let's use Chucky as a perfect example. I don't think he would suit One Extra anymore because of the restrictions that would be in place. He's a great talker, but it would be like, oh, you have to stay away from this or stay away from that.
Chucky's bigger than just being a DJ on One Extra as well, in my opinion.
Oh, massively.
His personality is so big and like,
yeah.
Bro, he could tell a story about this foam on the wall and make it sound like I want to know what happens to the foam.
Yeah, I've said that before, bro. I said it before.
He's like the greatest storyteller, like in our industry for me.
I've said it before. I could listen to Chucky talk about what he had for breakfast.
Trust me.
And I'd be sat there like, and then what happened? What happened next? And then what? Then what did you do? But,
yeah, I think it's different for everyone, isn't it? But like some people, it's the dream to be on One Extra. But it was my dream. That was all I ever wanted to do. All I wanted to do was be a One Extra DJ. I wanted to be on there. Like, this was a major thing for me. But then when I finally got there and I was knocking on the door, it just... Sometimes things just don't work out in life, mate.
But you know what? Yeah, I
can laugh about it now, but I feel like this building your platform, when I look through the episodes to pick what I felt was one of the most important ones, this one couldn't be more relevant with the way we're about to have another tech boom, man. We're about to progress massively. Even further. Like, you can tap in to so much stuff now. Find your lane and run with it.
100%. And like, just bringing it back to talk about me for a second, using the building your platform as the great example of why it's worked for me. And I think like the One Extra stuff at the time wasn't meant to be. And had I got onto One Extra at that time, I wouldn't be in the position I am now with this Vlad TV partnership.
True.
And bro, look at the size of Vlad TV. Vlad TV is bigger than One Extra and Capital Extra combined. And it's crazy. Like, I have an opening there now. And the reason is because when they checked out the channel that I have, my own channel, they saw the content. They saw the Pop Smoke interview. They saw the Baby's interview. They saw the relationship I have with Logic. They saw all of these UK rappers that have been through and thought, the guy's plugged in. This is his platform. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, that's where it's worked in my favor, having my own platform. And I don't think that situation could have come up if I was a One Extra DJ or a Capital Extra DJ. I just don't think I would be in the position I am with the Vlad partnership now.
No, it's true. And eventually the right people align with it, innit? Like I was saying before, the way you interview and the way you do things might not suit the bigger stations.
No,
but like Vlad, like eventually your style and technique of the way you do your interviews is aligned with Vlad. And it's perfect, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's perfect because they send me interview the same way you do.
Yeah.
Obviously you got your vibe, but yeah, eventually like the right people align and you building your own platform and doing it your way.
That's it.
That's allowed the Vlad thing to come along. So yeah, that was just one for me. And just Chucky as a guest and what he's built, it's just I don't think you could get a better example from someone who was not backed by the bigger brands and has done the most. And has done the most on his own terms anyway. So
definitely.
That one. Yeah, I think them three. Yeah. There was loads of other ones, like there was like joke ones like the Lost Tempo. I was gonna readdress the Lost Tempo because now there's bare songs. I feel like I've got bare songs in the Lost Tempo now.
Afrobeats has done amazingly for the Lost Tempo.
And the remixes and all the Cager stuff. All the future, I've got so much. I did an hour set on Twitch the other day where it was all like 110 to 118.
So like you were just there basking in the Lost Tempo.
I wasn't lost anymore.
Oh, we've got a new Lost Tempo. We need to find it.
The new Lost Tempo is 55.
When I was, mate, that is a Lost Tempo.
Or 50.
Excuse me. One of the best episode titles has to be.
Why, man?
Maximum Bellend. We actually put an episode out called Maximum Bellend.
I think we was having a midlife crisis when we done that one.
You know what? I haven't actually listened back to it, so I can't remember even what we were talking about.
I can't.
On Maximum Bellend.
I can't. I don't listen back to these pods, bro. I don't like listening to my own voice.
I don't like listening to it either.
I literally record the episode and I throw it out there for the world to listen to, and then I just crack on. Like, I don't know why anyone even wants to listen to me.
Yeah, episode 63. Hang on, what does it say? What does it say we're talking about?
Probably nothing.
No, it doesn't. There's no description. It just copy and paste description. It doesn't say what we were talking about. I can't remember.
Don't leave me in charge of the flipping YouTube links, mate. It's copy and paste from the last one.
So yeah, episode 63 was called Maximum Bellend, and it actually is a great episode as well.
We hope.
So, I
think that pretty much covers it. You know, like we were going over like how many should we talk about. I just feel like the top 3.
We started off by saying we were going to talk about 10 episodes, didn't we?
We were going to do 10 and then 3 each and then 1 guest. But you know what we're like, man. I feel like looking at the ones that we picked, the backup plan, building your own platform, the anxiety and depression, kind of sums up like where we're at in life at the minute as DJs.
Yeah, massively.
So yeah, it's been a good one, man. It's been a good one, my G.
Episode 100.
Episode 100. We were like, should we get a guest on? Should we not? Like, it's the 100th episode. Should we do something epic? I was like, you know what? Let's just go over like the journey in it and see where we're at. And how we've progressed as DJs ourselves in the last 2-3 years. So.
Amazing. And the amazing thing is, this is just the beginning. Like, we're just getting started. There's things that we won't talk in detail yet about it, but there's things that we had. The ball began to roll very slowly just before the pandemic. So as soon as life returns,
I feel like with a pod, even when Chucky said it on his, like when we asked him about it, it takes 2-3 years to scratch the surface.
Oh, massively.
And actually get that solid, like, do you know what I mean? That routine and the brand and.
But the things we were planning for this just before the pandemic.
Yeah, I know, man. Right? I know.
What so sick and
that would have
so
contributed
beneficial.
Mad, but. Yeah, man. There, bro. We're making it work. Here's to the next 100. Here's to the next 100 guests.
Definitely.
But if there's anyone that you guys think we should get on, leave it in the comments. We've had a few shouts online. A lot of people have asked for EZ.
EZ.
Yeah, a lot of that, bro. I think I'm more of a fanboy of EZ than Spoonie.
He aired my DM.
Don't bring your EZ on.
I DM'd EZ, but he aired me. There's no love.
I don't think it's his thing, man. He's pretty quiet in it. He's a pretty calm guy.
Yeah, would be sick to get him on though.
He's calm until you get him in the booth.
Yeah. EZ would be a great shout.
The
But yeah, so hit us.
The EZ neck.
Hit us on the DMs, either of our personal ones or at TalkOverPod on Instagram, and of course at TalkOverPod on Twitter as well. Hit us up and let us know which guests you want on. We've got loads lined up, but we just want to know if there's any that on our list.
Yeah, and should we? And do people think we should open this up? Like, what kind? Why am I stroking this like this? What kind of guests? Like, should we bring on? Like people in a different line of work, like would you like to hear from like record label managers or people that work behind the scenes within the industry or artists as well? Like I feel like we can definitely open this up a little bit more.
Yeah.
So yeah, let us know your thoughts, man. Hit us up, hit us in the comments, messages on socials, hit us on the Twitter, Instagram, all of that.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, man.
Century. We made it.
We are the Centurions of the DJ Talkover world.
Imagine before long, I feel like it's going to feel like tomorrow.
Now we're going to the commercial break.
There. Why are you just pointing the camera there? It's going to be soon. We're going to be doing episode 200 and be like, can you remember when we did episode 100? It's going to come flying around.
Woo! So, gonna bring the shit to Twitch as well, man. Needs to do all of that.
Indeed. So yeah, hashtag TalkOverPodclart. At TalkOverPod on the socials.
Yeah.
Stay us and Dubl for the DJs, by the DJs. And yeah, I think, you announced Clubhouse as well, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
So keep an eye on the socials because we've got our first Clubhouse coming up.
Join our club
very soon.
Join our club. It's TalkOver Podcast on TalkOver on Clubhouse as well. There's so many to keep up with. Jesus. There's like 100 people in there already, though.
Sick,
man. Let's build we're gonna build the community, man.
Yeah, let's do it.
Keep voicing our opinions and our gripes.
So yeah, and tell a friend to tell a friend. If you know anybody that doesn't listen to the TalkOver podcast, you need to tell them.
Tell them now. Tell a friend to tell your mum.
Yeah.
Safe. Right. Laters, man. Until next time.
Safe.